We'll try Julia Steggerda one more time at a different number, and an Iowa number. We called her earlier, and you saw in the other video, the other Steggerda video. We called her earlier in Baltimore, Maryland, where she works. She wasn't there, so we'll try now with this court number. The whole idea in calling these guardian ad litems is to talk to them about fraud, to inform them of it, to ask for their help. Um, I called Steggerda first. I was real nervous, so I talked a long time, like I'm doing right now, before I called her. She didn't answer. Um, um, Let me see. Find this one. I just saw where I said this. Yeah. So I'm calling. I'm calling to ask them if both of the guardian ad litems, if they would tell me who the person was who actually appointed them to my case, and if she, they're both women, if she was told to represent both of my children. In Iowa, you can't represent both children. You one person per child. And if she had met with and if she had met with my children and what the results of that were, or if she had any plans to request a second guardian ad litem or schedule an interview with me, she got an answer. So Steggerda did not answer the first call. Sarah Dooley Rothman did. Now, filed a motion stating, we likely know each other. I mean, we do know each other. She's familiar to me. I've seen her my whole life. And I wrote a motion firing Ling Harl and talking about these guardian ad litems breaking the law. You can't represent both children. You got to interview everybody. And none of that's been happening. And so Steggerda didn't answer the other call. Rothman did. And she's a magistrate now. She's a sixth judicial district magistrate, and she's going to be a judge soon, probably here in Tama where I live. That might be why she was asked. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not. But when I called her to start talking about the evidence and the fraud, she knew where I was going. She knew, oh, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. And I'm talking to her as one professional to another. She has a duty to report. If I'm reporting to her professional misconduct, tort, and crime, the rule at 51215 in Iowa for professional misconduct judges, and the rule in Iowa at Rule 3283 professional misconduct lawyers, they can't ignore it. They can't ignore it in the courtroom. They can't ignore it over the phone. If someone comes up to them, or even you in your own case, come up to them and they're the judge in your case, and you say these things are going on. I need you to stop it, and I need you to get me out of here, change me to another venue so we can keep fairness. They have to do it. If they're the judge that's hurting you and they have to do it, if they're somewhere else in the case, a guardian ad litem, and they find out that the man's getting destroyed by the government, they have a duty to say so. Um, she wasn't interested in any of that. And believe me, I've got a lot of professional misconduct, tort, and crime in my case. Holy cow, do I. And evidence, witnesses, subpoenas, she'd have nothing of it. Then she starts talking to me about how she wants me to schedule an interview with me. I'm like, I called you, lady. I called you to tell you about a thing. Now you want to call me? She basically sprung it on me. I had no idea that the trial was still on, because usually when you terminate a lawyer who's not getting your evidence, not getting your witnesses, not getting your subpoenas, and clearly tanking your case, you get it gets continued. If it's bad enough, you get the venue changed because you know it's not fair, and but you always get a continuance for that type of thing. But Nicole Fascio in this case, who's acting as my wife's attorney, called. Apparently, I saw on the record, I didn't get anything in the mail. I didn't get any notices of anything. Said she needed a continuance for something, and he just gave it to her. I didn't weigh in. They didn't have a hearing, and they just did it. But I want a continuance for firing my attorney, who's clearly been asked by someone to tank my case again. I can't get a continuance for that. And here's the thing, is I don't file a motion. I didn't file a motion to terminate my lawyer. No, I didn't file a motion to terminate my lawyer. I terminated my lawyer. It's a matter of right in America. It's a matter of statutory right. I'm doing it. And I had all kinds of reasons for doing it. And those are my reasons, and I did it. Apparently, they set a trial to talk about my motion, and they did it via the internet. I didn't get any notice. I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. I only knew about it because I was on the system filing stuff. And I wrote a quick notice like, "Hey, I'm not going to be there today. My back's out. I live in Tama. I don't drive. I don't have a license. I'm poor. I'm indigent." I did, and by the way, I didn't file a motion to terminate my attorney. I let you guys in. I terminated my attorney publicly so that I wouldn't have to deal with any sort of hoopla. Oh no, you did it. I'm still your attorney. The governor asked that I be your attorney, and I'm going to be your attorney until the very end. No, you're not going to be my attorney, Ling Harl. Um, you're not my attorney. I terminated you. The motion was for common sense continuance after the fact. And then I also explained like what was going on with the judges and what was going on with just everything, just the guardian ad litem. So we're gonna call up Julia Steggerda. By the way, Julia Steggerda's uncle, Todd Steggerda. I should have go look this up because this is ridiculous. He just got confirmed by the U.S. Senate for being a representative, a trade representative in some capacity to the Geneva Convention in Switzerland, and that's his kind of claim to fame. And she's related to him. And she works at Drake University. She did work at Drake University. She now works at Baltimore, Maryland, and I don't know if that's a recent thing or it's been a couple years. But anyway, she was the guardian ad litem, and until very recently, after I filed a pleading about guardian ad litems, there came a motion that said she's not the guardian ad litem anymore. And the new guardian ad litem is Sarah Dooley Rothman for both of the kids, which is illegal in Iowa. And Sarah Dooley Rothman is a magistrate judge in the 6th Judicial District. So she's going to be a judge soon. So let's call Steggerda back. I lost that. She looks really kind and nice. I met her uncle. I met her uncle in 2007 in Little Rock. Her uncle was like one of the leaders in the McCain campaign. Oh, that's my goodness. Hey, Miss Steggerda-Corey, how are you? This is Travis Starr, calling from Iowa. I'm a multi-jurisdictional attorney, and I'm going through a divorce, and I'm having a parental rights issue that you were hired as the guardian ad litem for. And I just wanted to ask you if you can call me back at 501, um, I'm sorry, that's not correct, 641 481 7008. And I'm wanting to know if you would tell me who appointed you to my case, and if you were asked to represent both of my children instead of one of my children, and if you had ever asked for the court to request a second guardian ad litem. So I'm experiencing some really bad things. You're an Iowan, so you might remember in 2014, 2018 when James Ellison. He was a professor out at Drake. You may have had him in the past, or Stephen Owen, but James Ellison and uh, and Jessica Reynolds. Jessica Reynolds represented a woman, a government worker, in civil litigation arising in and out of Chapter 598 divorce, and it was a violation of Article 3, Section 2 of the Iowa Constitution. Government can't sit in the same seat of the judge and sit in the seat of the judge, and then also in the seat of uh, the uh, the civil plaintiff. Bad things happen. And well, as you might know, bad things have happened to me in those circumstances. And I'm trying to uncover them and get them out into the public. And I'm being prevented um, aggressively from sharing the truth about professional misconduct, tort and crime, Article 3, Section 2, 714, misappropriation of man hours and tax dollars. That was weird. It was an answering machine, I think. Try again. Let's try that again. One wants to, no one, it doesn't seem like anyone really likes the professional model rules of professional responsibility in Iowa. You know, like I read them every day. They're like, if you read them and you know them, you don't have any trouble. And if you make mistakes, you can solve any mistake in the interest of justice if you're a lawyer or a judge. It's like, it's great. No one uses it around here. No one thinks that way. Hi, Miss Corey. I tried to leave a message. It was too long, and I have a bad habit of doing that. I'm so sorry. My name's Travis Starr. I just left a long message. I'm sorry about that. But if you could please call me at 481, I'm sorry, 641 481 7008. I have some questions to ask you about your experience as a guardian ad litem in my case in Iowa. That's 641 481 7008. Thank you. Bye. Answering machines. All right. That's all I'm gonna do with it. I can't get into that. I know for sure that Sarah Dooley Rothman is crooked and corrupt and willing to do obviously whatever been asked. And it doesn't have anything to do with interviewing me in good faith. It doesn't have anything to do with truth. It doesn't have anything to do with anything except for protecting those judges and lawyers in the Second Judicial District who have harmed me. She is in the business of concealing harm. She is in the business of suppressing truth of intentional injury. She does not give a rip about my children. She does not give a rip about me. She does not give a rip about anybody. Um, she's, you know, she's going to be a judge. I promise you, she's going to be a judge after this. So that's her focus. That's what my interpretation of what she did just now. Not interested in facts, not interested in evidence, not interested in witnesses and subpoenas. Thanks.